welcome back to my channel. I'm here with David Klass.
What's up, what's up?
Last time we made a video of why your parents don't want you to have social media. And we promised you that we would make a video on once they say yes, once you get social media, what to look out for. So this is that video. We want you guys to be prepared. If you guys have it already, this will also help. And if they said no, your parents said no, then this can prepare you still, right?
This will prepare you. Actually, this can actually be a reason that you tell your parents you're prepared and mature enough to have it because you know of the threats to look out for.
That's right. So we can just work, you know, in different ways, like psychologically, if that makes sense.
Let's do it.
All right, so let's get right into it. The first major threat, and I think this is the most important one, in my opinion, is catfishing.
Catfishing. You guys know what that is? I didn't either until like, I don't know, 2 years ago. Literally.
Didn't we see like a Netflix documentary on
Yeah, I was like, what is that? Catfishing. You never know who you're talking to, and who you're talking to online. If they're a stranger, might not be the person that's in the picture. You gotta be careful. Talk to your friends online, you know, but if it's a stranger, you have to be extremely careful because anybody can pose as anybody online, right? And that's what catfishing is.
It can literally be like you can get a request and a message from like this cute girl or a cute guy. You're like, oh, this girl's pretty. Her name's Kimberly or whatever. And it can actually be a fat guy. Fat old man behind the screen, and you would never know.
Yeah, scary stuff actually. Yeah.
Especially for girls. Like there's a lot of men who are preying on pretty young girls, and they'll pretend to be this cute guy, cool guy, post all these pictures and all that, and talk to you, but it's really a predator. So this is a major threat to a lot of young girls, a lot of young boys who fall for these kind of things. So you have to be aware that it could be a fake person, so therefore don't add any strangers, right? Yeah,
I would say stay away from strangers at first until, like, I mean, why would you even talk to strangers in the first place?
Because they're cute.
Oh, I guess so. Yeah, but still, no, talk to people you know or people you know of, you know? That's kind of how you get away from that, right? Just talk to people you know or you know of, and that's it. Like,
yeah, keep your account private.
Yeah.
But if it's public, just please be aware. So now the second thing is...
people post the best versions of themselves all the time, every time, right? You have to watch out for that. Why you have to watch out? Because you don't want to get discouraged. Like, people are posing, you know, they're looking good. You know, they got the Photoshop, they got the beach behind them. They're super cool. They're like the coolest people in the world. That kind of thing. And just know that, like, okay, that's not always reality. And when you're looking online, you're seeing all this cool stuff on and on and on, and you're sitting in your bedroom in the dark, you'll think your life's depressing. But it's not, and people post typically the highlights online. So don't get discouraged or feel like, oh man, my life isn't great, because that's kind of the feeling you get when you're just online all day scrolling down, right?
It's a threat to your happiness, to your soul. I mean, literally, it is a threat to your being because you think that your life isn't as cool as their life. Or, hey, I'm not doing that. I don't have that. Am I like not perfect? Is my life boring? Am I not doing enough? And it's like, no, your life is great.
If you like just scroll for an hour just watching people, after that hour you feel kind of crappy. I do, at least. That's why I watch animals now. I watch sea animals and I'm weird, but I like watching animals because if I watch people all day, I get like depressed. I mean, I see the Gucci and the Fendi and I see the traveling and I see the good food. I'm hungry, I want that food, but I'm over here eating cereal, right? I see like people just doing the coolest things. They're looking so damn good and bodies in shape, man. I got a little belly. I'm like, what's going on, right? Like, so I don't know, like getting caught up in that, it can, yeah, it's cool to see it. It's cool to you know, to be, but to do it all the time and then compare yourself to it or your situation to it, that's when the problem happens.
Exactly. Right? So be very much aware and just know going in, everyone just posts the best parts of their life. They're not going to post the bad stuff. So you're not going to see it.
They're not even going to post the little fat they have. Everything's Photoshopped too. A lot of things are, especially with celebrities and stuff.
Yeah, so give me a thumbs up if you guys are aware, okay? Give me a thumbs up that you know not everyone's life is perfect. Thanks. So the third threat that social media has to your life is that you can literally lose yourself.
How can you lose yourself?
In so many different ways. But let's say that you're not going to live in the moment. You're not gonna go outside anymore. Or when you are going out and you're out and about, you're just thinking about filming. You just want to film every time and you're just on your phone, or you're out and you're on social media instead of living in the moment, being present.
Listen, when I think of don't lose yourself, it means that like don't lose your identity of who you are, right? Because you're online, you're looking at everyone else, and you're getting all this information in your head about this style and that style, and what this trend and what that is, and what's accepted, what's culturally cool. cool, what's not. And all of a sudden you lose who you actually are and what you actually like, because things you like now are things that everyone else likes. So just remember to have your own identity and not just get caught up in literally losing yourself trying to keep up with fitting into society. So it's good to you gotta know how to, and that's one of the hardest things I think about social media and all this stuff, because it's hard to separate who you are and who you're not, kind of thing.
Right. It's literally, there's influencers. This is what they do for a living. They influence you to wear certain products, to think that this is the way you have to act, this is what you have to eat, this is the makeup you have to wear, this is how you have to look, your hair, your nails, everything must be done this way. And there's so much pressure that's put on you that you have to remember, like, it's not that serious.
It has to be balanced, all right? Culture is culture, it's cool, and there's trends and this and that, and there's things that are they're fun, right? But just remember that you are an individual, you are an amazing human being, and you're super original and unique. And don't forget that, because when you're online long enough, you'll just feel like you're nobody.
So I have a tip, okay? This is something that I actually do. I don't know if you do it or not, but I used to set a timer, like 20 minutes, 30 minutes, to let me know, like, oh my gosh, you've been on there for 20, 30 minutes, because you can lose track of time. Now what I do, because that wasn't working, is I actually, in my settings, I set like a restriction. So it doesn't let me go on Instagram or TikTok or anything like that for more than, I think it's 1 hour a day.
I don't think this is going to resonate with the people here, because I feel like that's like an old thing.
No, it's not.
Oh, maybe not. Sorry.
No, like literally, you can tell your parents, I will set a timer on the settings.
That's a good sales
You
point.
can set a timer on this app so that I cannot be on it for longer than an hour a day, which an hour is a long time, but I like to split it in increments. I'll be on it 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes in the afternoon, 20 minutes around 5 o'clock.
I just let me ask you, at the end of the week, because at the end of the week it says like, oh, how many hours you been on the phone per day?
Yeah.
What does it usually say?
I haven't checked.
Mine's like about 5 hours per day.
Like on the phone or on social media?
Like literally just on the phone, period.
Oh, but you work, so that doesn't count.
Well, that's true. Yeah.
We're talking
but
about,
hey, I bet you some of y'all be on like 8 hours a day, 7 hours.
Oh my gosh.
Which is crazy. And most of it is on social media.
Yeah.
So
be aware, okay? So part of that, don't lose yourself, don't lose your hours, your time, your valuable time just being on social media.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Seriously, it's not that cool actually. It's just a little cool.
The fourth threat is, it kind of ties into catfishing. It's strangers, because even though, let's say it's a real profile, it's a real person, it's not catfishing, it's a real person behind that profile, it's still kind of a threat to you, because you don't really know who you're dealing with, and you're talking to them. It's a real person. You might meet them in person or something, which is like online dating, right? You might meet them for dating or to have a friend or something.
Yeah.
You just have to be aware of who you're dealing with, because like they can post so many different pictures and pretend to be someone they're not.
Yeah.
This happened to me actually. I don't know if I ever told you, but yeah, this guy, like, he posted, and this is why I'm saying, like, be wary, because like they will post things on there and you think that they're this kind of person and that they have these things and they live this lifestyle, but really it's not the case at all.
I mean, I would say to avoid that, you can kind of tell too, if you really see if someone has like 5 pictures on their profile, like, okay, but people usually, real accounts have stories. You know, who doesn't put stories up, whether it's Instagram or anything else, right? TikTok, whatever. They'll have more content up there to really show their lives. So there's just like 5 or 10 pictures, like, oh, this is me, then I wouldn't believe in the first place. That's a stranger. Until you prove me wrong that I could see your actual life on the regular, at least a few times, you know, in stories, then it's probably fake.
Even after you meet them, I just feel like you don't know what's real and what's not. Because you might meet someone and they might even become your friend, but then you really will get to know someone in real life. It's not just like through social media. I don't know how to describe it, but it's just something to be aware. Be aware of strangers and what they post, and just know that not everything's real. And the 5th threat that social media can have on you is,
it can make you insecure. For me, you know, sometimes I'll post and then I'll take it down. Because I'm like, this picture's not cool enough. This picture, the background's not cool. I don't look good. One has cooler pictures or a video, right? Like, oh, and I'll take it down because I get insecure because my stuff is going out there. And I feel like, well, this is not good enough content or good enough picture to be looked at cool. You. Or someone's judging the crap out of me, right? And I just took a picture down the other day, right? So I still feel that way. So like, it's important that it doesn't like get to the real world as well. Like, if you're insecure online a little bit to put some stuff on, like, don't be insecure in the real world as well. Like, I'm very secure in my life, but for some reason online, it's a big judgment pool of like
Yeah.
Just like,
because you're caught up on the likes. You're caught up on the likes. You're caught up on the views. You're caught up on all the statistics, all these things, and it's like, who freaking cares?
Yeah.
Okay, who cares?
Yeah.
Now, you know what I just learned that Snapchat, they don't care about any of that stuff.
Yeah.
There's no like likes on there, and it's a totally different social media app.
Right.
In my opinion, it's not really like social media, but anyway.
But TikTok, there's likes, right? And Instagram, Instagram, you can enable the likes.
You can hide.
You can hide the likes.
Yeah, you can hide the likes.
Yeah.
Which you might want to do.
Which is cool.
But yeah, it's kind of weird how it just affects you in that way where you all of a sudden are insecure about things that you weren't before. So be very mindful of that.
Yeah, no, for sure. I know people that they have one or two posts because they can't seem to post anything else ever. Like, and that's okay, but like they tend to be insecure people in the real world too. And like, oh man, so don't let that affect you to feel like you're not good enough, because obviously you're special and you're unique. So like don't let the online make you feel
you know what?
different.
I also have like, this is like a bonus like threat that I just thought of.
Yeah.
Bullying. People bully online because they're not in real, like they're not in front of you. So they think they can say whatever they like. Strangers, if you have a public account and you start letting strangers follow you, which is why you probably shouldn't do that, they will say things to you, mean things to you, just randomly. You're like, what the heck? It's like we call them trolls, but that is another thing. People can bully you.
Yeah, people sometimes are just mean because for no reason. They have no better life to be mean to people and put people down. So watch out for that too, and don't take things personal. I would say don't take anything personal online. If you can, just like disconnect from it, and if someone leaves a bad comment or says something or whatever, just I delete on to
them.
The next.
I personally delete them and I block them. That's what I do, because I'm like, nobody has time for you. Get away. Like Taraji Hempson says, go over there with your dark cloud and rain. Go over there.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah, well, that's good. Yeah, so overall, just don't let people make you feel, insecure just because they're online, they're doing this and that, their body's this way, they have this much money, they're traveling this way. Don't let that make you feel insecure about who you are and what you're doing, because it's not as cool and great as it seems, right? It's really not.
And the last threat, okay, maybe it's not really the last threat, but you know what I mean, is that not everything on social media is real.
Don't believe everything you see and hear.
I mean, people can Photoshop things. People can like edit videos and like pretend that they're somewhere where they're not. It's just crazy what happens on social media. And one of the big things is,
well, social media is not the news. It's not your source of real information. It's social media. It's fun. It's fake. It's cool. It's creative, right? So you can't get all your information about the world and your ideas about what's happening just from social media. You might want to fact check it somewhere else, right? Maybe go online, do a little typing. I know it's old school, like type it in and then read something, right? But
article.
Yeah, but it's a good way to to fact check something.
Just make sure you do your due diligence. And I know if you're younger, you're like, what? But it's just like, you just have to remember that not everything is real. That you see on social media.
And not just like on a news way, just like in a personal way too. Like the one thing I see is like everyone poses as like ballers. Everyone poses as like the coolest, best looking bodies and coolest people ever. And it's like, and then you might meet someone in person like, oh, you look a little different online, right? Or you meet a person like, oh, I thought that was your car, but that's your car. Oh, you were taking a picture next to that car a few times, right? And it's funny, but everyone's like posing as someone else and doing this, and there's a lot of fakeness. So that's another thing. You can't believe everything you hear and see. Just take it with a grain of salt. Like that's just, we live in that kind of world, man, where everything is like enhanced and people are trying to impress everybody. So like just understand that.
So I'm sure there's a lot of things that you guys are thinking of that you're like, wait, what about this? What about that? Comment down below. Let us know threats that you think come from social media, and we can go into depth with all this, but we felt like these were the most important ones. Especially when you're first starting out with social media, you need to just be aware and be prepared. And even if you're aware and prepared, we still fall for things. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's like hard to remember these things because you're living it every single day. You're on social media every day. I highly suggest to like put your phone away sometimes. Like get home from school, work, whatever, put it away. Don't even go on it. Like just be in the moment. Live in the, that's like our biggest one. It's like live in the moment. Don't let it take your life.
Yeah, let go. Like, just like seriously let go. And if you're on it, then be on it. That's cool. And you're gonna post, like, be confident in post. That's another thing. Like, just let go, be you. And because I have a problem posting sometimes, I'm like, oh, is this like a good enough post? Is this cool enough? Is this not? So like, just forget all that, man. You're on there to have fun and to be a part of, like, you know, a culture, online culture. That's great. But just don't forget about real world, and don't forget about, like, just like we're all special, and just no need to judge ourselves on everything. You know?
Yeah. And there's positives with social media, of course. And maybe we can make a video on that. I mean, I don't know if we need a video on that or not, but there's positives. Be a part of the community. Have your friends on there. Share your stories. You know, post. Keep in touch with friends that you normally wouldn't keep in touch with, and say hello to people. Okay. And if you're not following us, go ahead and follow us.
I am David Klass.
The Rosy Hernandez, 2 E's. Yeah, we will comment back.
Send a message. Say what's up. We'll love to talk to you guys.
All right, guys. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe down below. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I will see you in my next video. Besitos.
Peace.